Mining Job Hunt video. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and in today's video we are going to have a look for some jobs. We're going to do it a little bit differently than we've been doing it for a few reasons. I've already loaded all the jobs up, so I'm loading them up pretty much every day that they come along. So instead of collecting them, we're just going to go and have a look at where they all are. And as of always, we are going to use the channel's advice, which is to go where the employers have no choice but to hire new starters and then give them what they want. So that's why we use a combination of the training as well as pointing you in the right direction of where the actual jobs are. So this is our map with all the mines around the country loaded up that are producing metals that are going into the new batteries, and also gold, because this is where your long-term jobs are going to be, and this is where the employers actually need people. So specifically at the moment they need lots of people working in the underground space. The other area is surface exploration that they need lots of people. Everywhere else, you know, they do need people, but they tend to have choice at the moment, especially in the maintenance side of things and the shutdown side of things. That's settled down a little bit in the last 6 months, so a lot of the employers have got a bit of choice going on, which means the rates have pulled back in that area a little bit, and yeah, it just is what it is. It's the natural flow of things. But where, if you want to get a mining job and you want to get a production mining job, it's hard rock underground and surface exploration is the two places that they need people. So if we go down and we have a look, you can see straight off the bat there's expressions of interest in New South Wales. And you can also see that there's the underground truck operator job here in South Australia. And if we zoom over and have a look at the ad, it's like we say when we tell people to do when they do the training, you need to apply for all the job ads, even if they ask for experience, because there isn't really a lot of experience around. This reads as they're looking for experienced underground truck operators, you know, but when you get down to the requirements, underground experience is preferred but not essential. And it's purely because they're really under the pump with the operators at the moment. And anybody that's got 12 months truck driving experience, they're all looking for a service crew job. And as we look through the ads here for the job ads, you'll be able to see the amount of service crew jobs that come up, and pace crew and all those sort of things, and even the jobs that are higher up than that, like bogger and charge up and jumbo. That all creates a spot below, because the company's either got the choice of promoting within, so somebody moves up and then they got to find whatever that person was doing to replace them, or they've got to import somebody in, and if they steal somebody from another mine site, then that mine site's got a place to fill, and it all filters back through to they need a lot more new starters. So that's why we get you to apply for all those jobs, and that's why we're getting you to look in this area. So you've got the entry-level truck operator, and this is one for around Kalgoorlie. Northern Star have got a number of big underground mines around Kalgoorlie. They also own the super pit, so if you're looking for a surface job, it can be a good place to go to get a surface job. You have to move to Kalgoorlie though. That's what they want. They want people living in Kalgoorlie, but the super pit is also going underground at the moment. They're just about to bang off their first decline down there, and they had the job ads up for it a couple of weeks ago. So there's a lot of activity around Kalgoorlie, and that's why it's a good place to go. But it's like anything else. They do go through a lot of people. The reason that all these job ads are up all the time is because people relocate to Kalgoorlie all the time, and unfortunately, you know, if you go in green with any of these jobs, either in the hard rock underground or even in the surface exploration, if you go in not knowing anything about mining on day one, it's more than 50% failure rate. And it's not just one company, it's all the companies, and that's why there's a constant flow of job ads through, and that's why everybody's desperate for experienced people, because experienced people last. Where they have to get new starters in that don't know what's going on, then they have a huge turnover. The other thing that you've got is with the training that the sponsor provides, when the employers get people that do that, the failure rate goes right down, because the issue that they've all got isn't teaching you how to drive the truck or how to be an offsider or anything like that. The issue that they've got is teaching you enough about how the mine works so they can leave you alone on the job by yourself to get on with the job. And that's what everybody struggles with, and that's what takes all the time. If you can't be left alone on the job to get on with it by yourself, then you're on borrowed time. And the only way to be able to do that is to understand how the mine works. And people just can't get their head wrapped around it. And you've only got a certain amount of time to do it. And if you don't get your head up to speed in that time, then they'll pull the pin on you. They'll say thanks but no thanks. It's not working out. See you later. A lot of people have the pressure ramped up onto them to the point that they don't want to be there. And if I had $5 for every time that I've seen someone put up their hand and say, get me the hell out of here, or they say a lot worse than that, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd, be planning my next golfing odyssey or my next fishing trip. It is what it is. They need people up to speed as quickly as possible. So if you go in knowing how it all works, it gives you a huge advantage over everybody else, and it just puts you in the box seat to succeed rather than fail. And you only have to go through the job hunt videos that we've got going back 6 months now, or even longer than that, and you'll see it's all the same people, all the same employers looking for the same people over and over again. And you can see it pays reasonably good money starting. That's on a 1-on-1, and if you do a couple of do some overtime shifts in a fortnight, you end up around the 100,000 mark. But most people are on this sort of money for 6 to 12 months, and then they're promoted into service crew because they need service crew people. Some people like to be on trucks for ages, but it just is what it is. So there's a heap of jobs around. There's a nipper job here. That's in WA. There's a lot of them around. And I can show you on here, you can see you've got the stuff from South Australia, you've got service crew in New South Wales, you've got Barminco with another entry-level mining campaign here in WA. The Barminco ad, it normally shows up on page 6 or 7 when you look at the Seek that way. This Barminco job ad's up it's been up every week for the last 12 weeks or even longer than that now, but they all have to look, and this is why we point people in this direction and why the training's so effective. We get you to have a look at the Intro to Underground Mining, the DIY package, or the Work Ready one. It teaches you everything about how the mine works. It goes into great detail, and you can just click on these links and it takes you to a PDF where you can have a look at it all, and it just goes into everything so you know what's going on, and general mining information, cap lamp signals, refuge chambers, as per mine standard, pooled water, signage, isolation and tagging, stench gas, self-rescuers, fire and gases underground, then it's the tag board, all the stuff that they really need you to learn that people just don't get in their heads completely right from day one. The problem is that if you get some of this shit wrong, it can cost you your job. And they just go through so many new starters that another new starter failing doesn't really, doesn't register, unfortunately, even if you are being hard done by. And I've got lots of stories of lots of new starters that have been hard done by over the years. It doesn't make any difference. They don't care. It's just, they just scream next, and the next person comes in, because whether you like it or not, they've got a line a mile long around the corner of people all trying to get into the industry, and they'll take the opportunity. It just doesn't matter. So I hope you found that information helpful, and it's a bit different look at the job hunt video, I know. I've tried to make it a lot shorter. I've got to make them a lot shorter. It's still gone for probably a bit longer than I wanted it to, but it shows you where the jobs are. Next week I'll have some off-sider jobs lined up, and we'll also do some processing jobs. We'll have a look at some of those. But at the moment, if you really want a job in the production side of things, then it's hard rock underground and exploration, where the employers are desperate for people. And when employers are desperate for people, that's when they have to hire new starters. They've got no choice. They have to have bums in seats. Everywhere else in coal and iron ore and all these other mines around the country that produce different things, some of them have got choice, and they're exercising that right to have choice. And that means that, there's not a lot of opportunity around. So if you want to get in, you got to go where they're hiring new starters and give them what they want, somebody that knows how their mine works, so you can get thrown in the deep end. So I hope you found that information helpful, and if you could share this information around and like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.